Hi everyone and welcome to the Wizard Engineer. In today's video, I'm going to continue where we left up in previous video about our final projects. We're going to get started with securing our admin area, display a number of posts that we have created on the dashboard. We are going to interact with a logout endpoint. If we just hit this endpoint, we are going to redirect the user on the login page. And then the user can provide again his name and email so that he can get access to the admin area. But also we are going to design the home page and the single post page of our blog app. When the user is going to tap the base URL of our app, it is going to land on the home page, and also he can have the possibility to see the details of a single post. And for the upcoming video, it is going to be a real world app. We are going to build a real-time app in Laravel 11, Laravel Reverb, and Vue 3. I'd like to tell you to be comfortable so that you're going to watch the next video and you understand everything that I'm gonna talking about. And guys, I'd like to tell you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already and smash the like button. Let's get started. Alright guys, now let's display the number of posts on the dashboards. Here we need to hit in an endpoint and then we are going to secure our admin area. Here guys, we need to hit this endpoint right here. This endpoint return number of created posts. Here you can see we need to hit /count posts /count/posts, and then we are going to get a JSON object that contains a data property with number of posts. And then here guys, we need to get into the admin folder, and then we're going to create an action within it. Actions folder, and then we are going to create an action. We are going to say get, we are going to pass here count posts, and then that's yes. We are going to get into the post list folder. We are going to copy the contents within it. Let me copy the whole content, and then we're going to paste in the count post.ts action. And then with this action, we are going to specify the return type. I'm going to remove all of that. And then right here, we are going to stay with the loading. We are going to remove the query. For the post, we are going to say right here, count post. And then here, it is going to be a number. We're going to type it with a number. And then here, we are going to get a JSON object, which contains a data property. Is going to be a type of number. And then right here, we need to pass here count/post like this. And then we are going to remove the query parameter. And we are going to deal with the get HTTP verb. Right here, you can see we are going to send it within the get HTTP verb. And then here, guys, we are going to do post. Right here, we need to pass the data that we got from our server. We are going to pass it to the count post variable. We are going to do count post that value, and then we're going to pass it that data. And then here, guys, we need to return the count post and the loading. And then we're going to get into our dashboard page. First of all, before we get in, we are going to change here. We are going to say we need to change the name of the composable function. We're going to pass here use count post, and right here we're going to pass here count post function, and then we need to return it. I'm going to pass here and I pass here the count like this, and then right here count, and then here I just give our function the name of count post, and for the variable that is going to hold the number of posts that we have created, it is going to be count variable. And right here we need to return also the count variable. And then we're going to get into the dashboard page, and then we're going to display the number of available posts that we have created. And then right here, first of all, we need to create a script tag. Right here, we're going to pass here script, we're going to pass it the length of TS and setup. And then here, we need to import onMounted from Vue. onMounted, it is going to take an asynchronous function. Here, we need to import it from Vue. And right here, we're going to pass here our count. We are going to extract the count and get count function from use count post composable like this. And right here, we're going to pass in the onMounted. And right here, we need to import to our use count composable. And right here, we need to call the get count function. It is a promise. If we over our function, let us get into first. You can see it returns a promise, and then within the dashboard page we are going to call it. And then right here, I'm gonna copy this function within the unmounted, because they are going to call this function when we are going to when they are going to mount this component to the DOM, and they are going to display this they are going to call this function, right? Yeah. And then also we need to display the number of posts, which is holds within the count reactive property that we have right here. We are going to pass it over here, count. And then if we go within the browser and refresh, you're going to display a number of created posts. And then it doesn't display it. It seems that we have an error. You can see right here within the dashboard page, get count is not a function. Yeah, we are getting an error. We need to remove it. We are going to get into the get count function. You can see right here, we pass here get count instead of count post function. We need to return the count post function right here. And then within the dashboard page, we are going to pass here count post like this. And then we are going to display the number of posts that we have created again. And now, guys, we have finished display a list of created posts on this card. Now it's time to secure our admin area. And as we know that this admin area, it is the entry point. We are going to do this here. We are going to get into the admin page, that view. We are going to create an unmounted function. We're going to invoke this function, and we are going to pass here console log that check user is logged in. You're going to pass in a function like this, and right here they're going to check if the user is logged in every time a user get access to any page that is related to the admin page, that view. And as we know that this page, it is the entry point because we have the router view components within it. And right here, let's try to see. You can see right here, I'm gonna get access to the admin page, and we are going to get within the console check user is logged in. We are going to pass in a function that is going to check if the user is logged in. If I get into another page, create post, and refresh, we are going to call again this function check user is logged in within the admin page, that view, because it is the entry point for other pages. And now here, guys, we are going to hit this endpoint, check user it is logged in. And if I copy this endpoint within the browser, we are going to get unauthenticated. You can see right here, let me do this. I'm going to pass here the base URL of our app / check user logged in endpoints. Here, our server, it is running on port 8000. And you can see right now we are getting the status of 400 and the message not authenticated because we are not providing a token. Now, if we provide a valid token, we are going to get success with a Boolean value, true. If we just provide a valid token, that's what we're gonna get. This is the response type that our server it is going to return to us in case we provide a valid token. And now here, guys, we are going to create an action, create a function check user logged in like this. And then we are going to pass this function right here. It is going to be an asynchronous function. And then we're going to pass it over here. And then we are going to copy this code right here. I'm gonna copy this and get into my admin page, that view, and paste it in. And right here, I need first to import the make HP rec and remove other stuff. I'm gonna remove this and that. And also I need to specify the endpoint. This, I'm gonna copy the endpoint and paste to it. I'm gonna remove that. Here we are interacting the get HP verb. You can see right here it is get, and then here we are going to call. We need to import the show error from toast notification file, and right here we need to specify the return type. Right here we are going to pass here success. It is a boolean. I'm going to pass here boolean. It is a boolean value, but also we need to pass other key like status. I'm gonna pass here the status. It is going to be a number. And then here, I'm going to add a check. Here, I'm going to say this. If right here, let me pass here a sync to remove the error. And here, I'm going to check if the type of data that status it is not undefined. In case it is not undefined, in case we got the status properly, we are going to redirect the user to the login page. We are going to say in case it is not undefined, we are going to do window that location that href slash login. We are going to redirect the use on the login page. That's what we are going to do. And then here, guys, that's all, guys. Now let's try to check. First, if I get into my app and refresh, you can see right now we still on the admin area. But if I try to clear the user data within the local storage, you're going to see that they're going to redirect us to the login page. I'm gonna do this first. Local storage that remove rm user data. And then here, guys, if I try to refresh, you're going to see they're going to redirect us to the login page. You can see right now they redirect us on the login page because we doesn't provide a valid token. Right now, the token property, it is undefined. You can see every time we make an HTTP rec, right here, let me get into the HTTP rec file. Here, I'm gonna get into the helper folder. We have the make HTTP rec.ts. You can see right here, we create a variable user data, and then we call a function get user data, and it returns a login response type which has a token property on it. And then we get access to this property, we just pass it to the authorization key. Right here, you can see. And then as we doesn't get the user data within the console, we are going to the token. It is right here. Right now, we are sending undefined. And also, we need to create another endpoint, Logout Endpoint. You can see right now, when we log in, we just provide a valid credential and the provider has a token. Now, guys, we need to interact with the Logout Endpoint. And here, I'm going to get into again within the readme.md file, and we are going to interact with a Logout Endpoint. And what we are going to do, we are going to pass it the post HTTP verb, and also we are going to add the endpoint logout. We are going to send the user ID to the server, and they're going to return us a message. That's what we need to do right now. Here, I'm gonna go again within the admin folder. Right here, you can see here within the admin page that view, you can see right here, we got the navbar. We need to get in order to get access to the logout menu. We are going to pass in, we are going to define an event that we're going to emit from the admin page that view. We are going to go getting the navbar here. You can see right now the navbar, it is situated within the admin folder, component folder, navbar. Now we are going to define an event right here, define emit, and then we are going to pass it logout, it is the event. And then right here, we are going to bind it to this link tag right here. We're going to pass here when the user is going to click on it, we are going to do emit logout. And then we're going to get in the admin page, and then right here we're going to create a function logout, and then we're going to say console.log logout, and then we're going to pass it to the navbar logout. And if we click on the logout menu right here, we are going to display logout within the console. Let me show you. I refresh, and if I click on the logout menu, we are displaying logout. Now we need to send an HTTP request to the server. And right here, I need to copy all of that again. And right here, I'm going to paste it in right here. And here, the logout, it is going to be an asynchronous function. We need to provide a user ID to the server. Here, we need to specify the data that this is. If we over the make HTTP rec, you can see, first of all, we need to specify the endpoint. Right here, we are going to pass here the string. And here, we are going to pass here logout. if we over the make HTTP, you can see we need to provide it the method, it is post, and the input. Here we need to pass here the input. The input, it is user ID like this. And here we are going to pass here post. And here we are going to specify the type of the data we need to send to the server. We are going to pass in here, comma, user ID. It is going to be a number. And here we are going to call a function. We are going to call the get user data function. And then we are going to pass here the user ID, user data that user that ID. Right now, the ID, it is there, it is not there. If you go within the get user data function, you can see, let us move within this file here. Within the helper folder, we are going to see we have a function get user data.ts. And this get user data.ts returns a response of login response type. And right here, I'm not getting. You can see right here, we didn't specify the ID property. We need to add it too so that we're going to get access to this property. I'm going to pass here, it is going to be a number. We are going to go again within the admin page. And right here, if I type here, user data that user ID, we are going to get access to it. But you can see if we over the user ID, they say that this property can be undefined. And right here, I'm going to pass here and define. I'm going to pass here and define. I'm going to say that this property, this user ID can be undefined. But also for the return type, it is a message. I'm going to pass here the string. Yeah. And then right here, I'm going to remove that. And right here, what we are going to do is to display the message, that message. And then we just done. Here, we just pass the endpoint, it is a string. We just pass the method, it is here. We just pass the method. If we over the make HTTP rec, it takes first the endpoint, the method, and the input. Right here, I'm going to pass here. Let me see again within the make HTTP rec function, or we need to pass there so that we're going to get rid of the error. Make HTTP rec, we need to pass it first, the T input, the input type, and then the T response type. That's what we need to do. And right here, we are going to do this. We need to remove this because the first endpoint, it is the T input. We need to pass it the T input first to send to our server. And then we are going to specify the return type. It is the message like this, and then the error disappear. When we are going to click on the logout, we are going to send this request to the server, and then we're going to get a message. After that, we are going to do this. We're going to pass here timeout. We're going to say local storage, that's clear. We're going to clear out the user data within the console, but also they're going to clear they're going to remove the user token to the database so that the user is going to be logged out from the system. And here we are going to do window that location that href equal login / login. That's what we need to do. Window that location that href. Yeah, that's it, guys. We need to try to check it. And then you're going to refactor this file. You're going to create a folder within the admin folder right here. You're going to create a folder right here, actions, and then you're going to put in these two functions. Now let's try to check. Here, if I click on logout, you're going to see they're going to redirect us on the login page. And if you try to get access to the admin page, I'm going to type here /admin, you're going to see that they're going to redirect us automatically to the login page because we doesn't provide a valid token. Alright guys, we already finished work on all endpoint related to the admin area, but also we work on two public endpoints like login page and register page that we have worked on in previous video. Now we are going to create other pages, home page, where we are going to display a list of greater posts, but also we are going to create another page, single post page, where we are going to display the details of a single post. And we are going to eat this endpoint right here. Let me show you the endpoint that we're going to eat first. we are going to hit this endpoint right here, /client/post. It's going to return an array of creator posts. Right here, you can see it is ID, title, post content, image, Slack property that we're going to use to display the details of a single post. You can see right here, we got another endpoint that we're going to interact with. If we type it, the APIs /post/, and then we pass the Slack as third path, we are going to return an array which contains single posts. And we can use this endpoint on a single post page to display details of a single post. And then we are going to go ahead, guys, and get in the views folder. Within the views folder, we got a folder, blog. We are going to put in 2 pages. The first one, it is going to be located within the home page, and second one, it is going to be located within the single post folder. Within the home folder, we are going to create in a file home page.view, and within the home folder, we are going to create in a component folder where we are going to put in components related to the home page. But also the blog folder needed entry points. We are going to name it blog page view like this, and then we need to register these entry points within the router view. We are going to get in within the router view, guys, and within the router view you can see we got a folder routes, and we are going to create in another one. We're going to pass here blog routes.ts, and we are going to copy content within the admin folder and paste it in the blog routes.ts. And right here we're going to pass here the entry points. We're going to pass here first the blog folder and then blog page view, but also we need to pass over here the slash, the base URL, and then here we are going to pass here home, and right here home. I'm not showing you the importance of the name property later on. And right here we need to remove we need to pass blank from the path so that we are going to land on the home page. Right here we need to get in first the blog folder and then within the home folder, and then we are going to hit the home page view like this. But also we need to pass some boilerplate for the blog page. Here I got a boilerplate within my Sublime text for the home page. Right here, let me look for it. Right here we got a boilerplate for the blog page, because it is going to be considered as the entry point for the home page and single post page. I'm not pasting it in. Within the blog page, you can see right here, we got the router view built-in components where we are going to inject other components. But also we got the router link, which points to the login page. If I get into my asset folder, you can see right now we have the wiz-bg.jpg file that we're gonna display. We're gonna use it as our background, but also we got the Wiz Engineer logo. Yeah, you can put in within your asset folder another background, but also another logo. And then guys, we need to add also another boilerplate for the home page. And then here within my Sublime text, I got a boilerplate for my home page. I'm gonna copy it and paste it in within the home page view. And then if we get into the browser, let us first get on the home page. Seems we haven't yet registered our blog routes within the router view. Right here, you can see right here, we just pass here. We need to pass here blog routes. And then we need to register within the routes array. And right here, we're going to import it. And then it is going to be available. You can see right here, we just have a menu with a logo, Wizard Engineer, but also we got a router link, yeah, which points to the login page, but also can go back. Now guys, we need to create a component where we are going to display a list of posts, and we are going to create a component within the component folder. I'm gonna name it article car like this, that view. And then I got also a boilerplate for that. I'm gonna copy it and paste it in the article card view. And then right here you can see that our cards, within the template tag we have a div with the class core medium 4, and within this div we got another div which is class of car, and we have an image which points to a random image to our server. But also within the car body, we are going to display the post title, the created date, but also we are going to have a link which is going to redirect us to a single post page where we can see details of a single post. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the home page, and then we are going to import these components. We're going to say article card view, and then we just article car, yeah, we just import it automatically, it is there, and then we are going to pass it over here where we write components here. We're gonna pass here article car, and if we get into the browser, you can see right now we just display a single post. Now we need to edit this endpoint right here. We need to edit this endpoint, and then we are going to iterate through it using the v-for directive in order to display data. It is returning an array. And right here within the home folder, I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to name it actions. And this actions folder, I'm going to say right here, display article like this, article.ts, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into the post list folder and copy the content within the getPost.ts file. I'm gonna copy this content and paste it in within the display article.ts like this. And you can see right here, guys, we have the getPost response type. And right here, we need to pass it to article response type because we got the getPost response type within the post list folder. And right here, I'm gonna pass here created edge fields because we have it within our API. Our endpoints return it right here. We got the created edge. And here, guys, we need to change the name of the composable. I'm gonna pass here use display article, and I'm gonna get rid of the query right here. I'm gonna get rid of the query. And for the posts, you can see we are getting an array of posts right here. We are going to pass here get article response type. It is going to be an array. And here for the data, we need to type it. I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna remove that because we are getting an array. I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna just pass over here an array of get article response type like this. And then here, guys, we need to pass here the endpoints. The endpoint that we need to hit is /clients/post. I'm gonna copy it and paste it right here. And then we need to specify the HTTP verb. It is going to be get. And for the data, we need to pass here only the data because this endpoint returns an array get article response type. And then, guys, we are going to pass here, we are going to return the loading, the post, and the get post property. And that's all, guys, for this file. And now we need to get into the article car and define a prop for that. We are going to use define prop macro to define prop for these components. Now you define props like this. And then right here, I'm going to say it is going to take a list of posts, and it is going to be a type of an array of get article. I'm passing get article response type like this. We just import it. You can see right here when we import a type, a type, we just add here an import type. Before the type, we just add the type keywords. And then right here, I'm going to iterate through this post array. I'm gonna pass here, I'm gonna use the v-for directive, I'm gonna add here for like this, for posts in post like this, and then I'm going to pass here the key. We're going to do post.id, and right here we're going to bind the image to this attribute. We're going to pass here post.image, and then we're going to use semicolon to say that we are binding an image to this property. And right here we need to display the title. I'm gonna pass here two curly braces, post.title like this, and also post.title. And also we need to pass here the date. We're gonna pass here created at, and right here we need to pass to the router link. We need to pass here a path that is going to redirect to a single post page where we are going to display details of a single post. When we are going to click on this link, we are going to pass here single post, and then right here we need to add it. We need to pass it a slag property. Right here we're gonna do this slash, and then here we are going to do post.slag like this, and then we are going to display right here. It is going to be single post dash post / plus slag, and then we can have the possibility to see the details of a single post. And then here we need to, as we already imported this component within the home page, you can see right now we TypeScript will now say that we need to pass it data. We need to pass it the post, right, the post property. And then here we are going to use our composable right here. We're going to use display article within the home page. And right here, I'm gonna pass here const. We need to pass here the post. And then right here, we are going to import the use display article composable. And then we are going to use unmounted method to display. We are going to call this getPost function that we got within the use display article composable. getPost, we are going to call this when they're going to mount this component to the DOM. And as it is returning a promise, we're going to pass here a wait. We are going to pass the components. And right here, we're going to this articles. If we over this post property, it returns an array of get article response type. We're going to pass it to this article car right here. We're going to pass it. And then if we get into the browser, you can see first we're getting an error because this property, the props accept get article response type array. But if we over the post property, it takes the get article response type array, but also it can be undefined. And then here we need to specify that these props can be undefined like this. And then we're going to get rid of the error. And then if we get into the browser, we are going to display an array of posts on the home page. Let me refresh. Yeah, you can see, guys, we are displaying an array of posts on the home page. Right here, you can see we're getting our first post, what is TypeScript, Laravel view course, Laravel view course, and so on. And now, guys, we need to display the skeleton loader when we are making our request to the server. While it is going to be pending, we need to show the skeleton loader, and that's what we need to do right now. And then within my Sublime text, I got a skeleton loader of Bootstrap, and then I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna paste it in within the components. I'm gonna create another component. I'm gonna name it article car skeleton loader. I'm gonna name it like this, that view, and then here I'm gonna paste it in content. And right here, if we use these components, article car skeleton loader within the home page, let me first show you how it is going to show up within the browser. I'm gonna import article car skeleton. I'm gonna pass here skeleton loader like this from components, and then we're going to get access to articles car skeleton loader. And then right here, we are going to pass it over here. Here, let me first comment the article car components and pass the article car skeleton loader. And right here within the browser, let me refresh. You're going to see we are getting a skeleton loader. We need to display it while our request it is pending. And once we are getting data back from the server, we need to add it. And then here, guys, if we get into the display article.ts file, you can see right here we got the loading property. We are sending right here loading that value, it is true. While our request, our make HTTP rec, it is pending, we are going to set the loading that value, it is going to take the value of true. Once it's finished, it is going to take false, or if we got an error from the server, we are going to pass here false too. And here, as we get access within the home page, we get access to the loading property right here. We need to add here, let me see what we get within the display article. We need to add the loading property. Yeah, here. We need to add it. We're going to pass here loading. And then right here, guys, we are going to say this. vif. We're going to use the vif directive. We're going to pass here vif. Loading is true. It is false. if it is false, we are going to show this component article car skeleton loader. We're going to pass here velse. If it is true, we are going to change it to false, and then we are going to show article car skeleton loader. Let's try it within the browser. And right here you can see it doesn't show up. When we refresh our page, it show up. Once we get it from the server, it disappears. And that's all, guys. And now, guys, we need to interact with another endpoint. So you can see right here, we have already finished display a list of posts. And right here on each post, we got a link, continue reading. And when I click on a single article right here, if I click what is TypeScript, you're going to see they move us to a single post page. And it is a second path, what is TypeScript. It is the slag right here. It is this slag property that we just passed to the link. And we are going to use it in order to display details of a single post. And the endpoint that we're going to hit, it is post, and then we are going to pass here the slag. Let me show you. We are going to pass here API/post, and then we are going to pass here the slag. It is going to return an array of a single post. That's what we need to do right now. And then we are going to use the use router composable in order to get access to this parameter right here. And I'm gonna get into the single post folder and create single post page. I'm gonna name it. Let me first create a component for that within the single post folder, and then I'm gonna create another folder, actions, and I'm gonna create single post page, single post page.view like this. And then, guys, I got a small boilerplate for that page. I'm gonna copy it and paste it in right here, and then add here a script like this. We're gonna pass it the length, it is ts, and the setup attributes, yeah, like this. But also we are going to use we are going to create a constant. So we're going to name it router, and we're going to use router composable from view router package. And right here we need to get access to this parameter. We are going to do this. We are going to do this on mounted. We need to pass here. We need to grab this parameter. We're going to do const param. I'm gonna say slag, and then router. I'm gonna pass here router that param like this. Right. We are going to use the use roots, not use router. Use roots like this, and then we are going to pass here roots. Let me do this roots, and here I'm gonna pass here roots that's params like this, and then like get access to the slag like this. Because when we are going to get in within the router folder, we are going to pass in a root. So we're going to say this. Let us first get into the roots folder. Here you can see we got the blog roots, that's yes. And right here I'm gonna create another page, and here the path, it is going to be single post, and then here semicolon slag. And then when we are going to land on this page, we are going to use roots.param, and then we are going to grab the slag like this. And right here I'm gonna pass here the name, it is single post, and right here we need to get in the single post page, and then we need to point to the single post page that view like this. And here we just get in. Right here we just pass views. Let me see. Right here we pass here single post folder, and then we just get in the single post page that view like this, guys. But we are getting an error. Let me fix it. Let me try to see where we are getting this error. Let me do this. We're going to get in first within the blog folder, and then within the single post folder, and then we need to hit the single post page that view like this. Yeah, but we are still getting an error. I don't know why. Maybe let me see what is the problem. But it doesn't have an error. We are going to see if we got an error. We are going to try to resolve it. And then right here, guys, let us first land on this page. Right here you can see we let us console the slag right here within the console when we just land on this page. And then right here you can see when we click Let me move to the home page and then click on a post. Yeah, you can see right here, we just land on this page. You can see right here, we are seeing components. And right here, let me pass here single post page. Yeah, like this. You can see right here, we are getting single post page. And then here, let me get into the console and see what we're gonna get in console. And right here within the console, guys, let me refresh a bit. You can see we are getting the slide. The slide is over here. This is the slide right here. Let me zoom. Yeah, you can see this is the slide. What is TypeScript? And then if we go back again, we go back and click on a post, Laravel and view. We are getting another slide, Laravel and view, and then right here we got a random string which is generated on the server. Now, guys, we are going to create an action that we're gonna pass this flag to grab the details of a single post. And right here within the action folder, I'm gonna go ahead and create an action. I'm gonna say get single post.ts, and I'm gonna grab the content that we get within the actions folder within the display article.ts. I'm gonna grab it and paste it in the single post.ts. Right here, you can see we are getting an array. When we need to get access to a single post, we are getting an array. Right here, it is an array. And then in this here, we are going to pass here first. We need to change first the name of the composable. We are going to pass here use get. We are going to pass here use get single article. And then we are going to pass it the loading, the post. It is going to be an array. We need to remove it, the get article response type, because we need to import it from the home action slash display article.ts file, because we have the same data type here. And then here, guys, we need to change right here. We need to pass here post, and then right here the slide like this. We are going to pass it to the get post. It is going to be a string. And then, guys, we need to use the use get single article within the single post page. Right here, we're going to pass here. We're going to use first, we need to extract first the loading, and then the single post, the get post function, get post, and then we are going to assign it the use get single article. Yeah, like this. And then, guys, right here, we are going to pass here a sync as get post. It is an async. It returns a promise. And here I'm gonna do this data. I'm not await data. And right here I'm going to do this get await get post like this. You're going to see what we're gonna get. Let me first get access to the post. And here we need to pass it this flag. This flag, it is a string. And if we over the flag property, you can see TypeScript infers it to be a string or an array of string. We are going to use type assertion. We're going to cast it to a string. And then because we are passing to get post a string. And then here, guys, we are going to display data. Let me first do this. We are going to pass here the data. And then, guys, let's try to see what we get in the console. And then right here, let me get in the console and inspect again. And right here, guys, let us see. Here you can see we are getting a reactive property. Let me do this. Let me do that value. In order to get access to the value, we need to do that value because the post variable, it is a reactive property. And right here, guys, you can see, let me refresh. You can see we are getting an array. It is a proxy target. The value it is, yeah, you can see right here, we are getting not authenticated. Let me check. We are getting an error within the get single post.ts file. You can see right here, we are passing here a slash. We need to remove it. And then here, we are going to get access to data. You can see right now we are getting a proxy. It is an array which contains a single item. And then, guys, here, what we are going to do right now, I'm not do this because right here, you can see right here, we are getting post. It is an array. And when we are going to create a component right here within the component folder, we are going to pass it only an object. We need to pass it only an object. We don't need to pass it an array. And first of all, I'm gonna get into my Sublime Text again and copy paste a boilerplate right here. Let me create a component right here and then explain. Here I'm gonna say single post. I'm gonna say single article dot view like this and paste it in the contents. And right here, first, I'm not getting to first the get single post.ts file. Right here, as I said, I need to pass it only an object, this object. And you can see right here, we got the post, it takes an array. I'm not removing this. I'm going to say that it is going to take only an object of get article response type like this. And then right here, I'm going to do a check if data dot length is greater than 0. We are going to pass it this data. We're going to do post that value, and then we are going to pass its data because it is data that's 0. We need to access the single item because our get endpoint right here, it returns a single item if we got it. If we pass a bad slag right here, we are going to get an empty array. And then right here, we are going to say if we got data, we are going to pass it, we are going to store this get article response type within this variable right here, post. And right here, we're going to remove that. And here, we are going to return post without s. And then within the single post page, we are going to pass here the post like this and post like that, like this. And then within the single article, the view component, right here, we're going to pass here get article response type, and it can be undefined. And right here, I'm gonna remove that. And here, guys, you can see I've already defined a component for that because we already know how to do it. That's why I copy. And here, guys, I'm gonna remove first this v-if directive. And right here, guys, you can see we just passed v-html directive. I'm gonna explain it to you later on. I'm gonna pass it first right here. I'm gonna pass here the div post content like this, and then we are going to display the data. If we get in the single post page and we import the single article components, we're going to do import single article, and then right here we are going to pass here data. You're going to pass it this component here, and then it takes a props. It's of type of get article response type. You can see that's why the underlying here TypeScript owners say that we should pass it data. We're going to pass it post and post. Yeah, and that's all, guys. And if we get into the browser, we are going to display data. Let me do this. Let me remove that first. And if we get into the browser, let me refresh. Here you can see we are getting an error. Element is missing an end tag. We're going to pass here slash, and then we're going to get rid of the error. And right here you can see, guys, we are displaying data of a single post when we click on a single post. And then we got a button. Yeah, right here. Let me first click on the Wizard Engineer, and then we just land on the home page. And right here, when I'm going to click on this article, you can see we just display details of this article, but the content, it is in HTML tag. You can see right here we got tags instead of the data. Why? Because we just escape this data. You can see within the single article that view, we just escape this data. And to unescape this data, because we use double curly braces to escape data. Suppose within our database we got tags, we are going to use double curly braces to escape it. And to do not escape it, we are going to use v-html directive. That's what we got here, v-html directive, in order to unescape the data. And here, if unescape it, I just use the v8 directive. You can see right now we are getting data. We just unescape HTML tag. And that is the importance of using v-html directive. When you know that you got data, the data that you're going to get from the server, it is HTML tag, and you need to unescape it. You can use the -html directive, and that is the usage of it. And then we can go within the browser and we can see the details of the single post. If we go back to the home page, right here we got a button that points to the home page. If I click on it, we can get on the home page, and then I can click on another post where I use TypeScript, and then we are going to see the data. And now, guys, we need to create also a skeleton loader for that. And right here within my subline text, I got also a skeleton loader for the single post. Right here, I'm gonna copy it. And then I'm gonna create another component. I'm gonna say right here, single post skeleton, like the skeleton loader, that view, and then I'm gonna paste it in the content. You can see right here, this is the skeleton loader that I've created. You can just put whatever skeleton loader you want. You can see right here, I got a v4 directive that allows to duplicate lines. Let me show you how it works first. I'm gonna get into the single post page and import that. And then I'm pass here import single post skeleton loader from components. Just import it and pass over here this. Let me comment first this single article component and pass here the skeleton loader. And within the browser, you can see we just got here a skeleton loader. And right here, you can see these lines right here. I'm using v4 directive in order to duplicate things. Right here, I'm gonna remove that. Here, I'm doing this. If I remove that, you can see I don't have many things here. And when I'm going to use v4 directive, I'm going to iterate through an array, which is going to return copies of lines like this, guys. And then here, guys, I'm gonna pull back my v4 directive in order to add other lines, and then we can get a skeleton loader. And within this single post page, we got a composable use get single article. Right here, you can see we got the loading. We are going to do the same thing as we did within the home page, the view. And right here, we're going to do this. We are going to use v that loading is false. We are going to display this skeleton loader. While our query, our make_HTTP function, it is in pending state, we are going to say that the loading is going to be to true. And when we are going to get data, we are going to change the status to false. And again, you can see when I'm gonna move to the home page, and if I click again on Laravel view and click again on another post, and you can see we got the details.